I'm Becky and this is Secret, and tonight we are going to tell you a little bit about equine massage, and I'm going to show you 4 basic massage strokes that you can do at home on your horses. So to start with, massage is used to relax our horses, increase blood flow, relax sore or tense muscles, speed healing for injuries, and also can be used to prevent injuries because it warms those muscles before a workout and can help relax any muscles that became tense or stressed during a workout. It's also a great pairing with chiropractic work. It'll actually help those chiropractic adjustments last longer. Alright, so usually when I get ready to massage a horse here at my own barn, or when you guys get ready to massage your horses, you'll want to make sure that their muscles are nice and warm, right? So instead of putting them through a warm-up with massage, we can put them through a warm-up by working them. So we can ride them or lunge them, do some groundwork, or even if you bring them in from the field and they've been active, that's a good time to massage them too, right? That's because all of those muscles, all of those soft tissues will be nice and warm, and so you won't risk any injury by massaging cold muscles, right? So when I approach a horse to massage it, if I don't know the horse really well, or if I haven't massaged them before, I always start by the head and neck, right? That way, I can really watch the horse, watch their body language, to be sure of how they're going to respond to me in their space, different types of pressure, different strokes, those kinds of things, right? That keeps me away from the back end, where maybe they can be a little more dangerous if they would react poorly. Okay, so one of the first strokes I like to use on their neck is called jostling. So jostling is a really good stroke to help relax and warm the majority of the neck muscles. Okay, and you can start by the withers or you can start at the pole. So if you have a horse that you know is sensitive in the pole, you'd want to start at the withers. If they're sensitive in the withers, you want to start at the pole. So for this big guy, he gets pretty tense in the withers. So I always start work my way back. Alright, so I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to fold them over his crest. I'm going to use my fingertips to pull towards me with about 5 pounds of pressure. And I'm going to use my thumbs and maybe my palms to push away from me at 5 pounds of pressure. I'm going to slowly work my way down his neck. Okay, so we're going to work our way towards the withers. Go. You can see I'm not using much pressure at all, but you can see that I'm using my whole body to rock back and forth, not just my shoulders. Okay? Now once he relaxes a little bit here, I'm going to go to 10 to 15 pounds of pressure. Okay? So what we watch for in our horses to tell if they're relaxed is we watch for them to lower their head, to cock a back foot, maybe they sigh or yawn or chew with their lips. There we go. Oh boy. So we can see that he's lowered his head a little bit. He's relaxing. I have his attention. So I'm going to go to 10 to 15 pounds of pressure. Oh boy. And we can see, once we hit 10 to 15 pounds of pressure, how it gets all those neck muscles moving, right? You can see all these creases. That's good. That's what you want to be seeing. And once they're relaxed at this amount of pressure, you can go to 10 to 20 to 25 pounds of pressure. Right? So he always likes to smell me while I'm massaging him. It's just something about him. He's very curious, full of personality. I'm sure he'll share a lot with us tonight. So we can see that he's relaxed. Good, we'll work our way back down towards the withers once. And we'll go ahead and be done with jostling, the neck, and we'll move on to the shoulders. Good boy. So it's very important when you're massaging your horse to remain very calm, very low energy, and maintain contact with them. So you can see as I move back towards the shoulders, I keep a hand on him. Right, that helps keep them relaxed. Okay? So now, we're gonna do compressions on the shoulder. So the shoulder has a lot of dense overlapping muscle. Okay, and that's why we use compressions. Compressions is when you apply direct pressure, and is typically used on a dense area of muscle. Okay, so I'm going to make a fist, use the broadest point of my fist, lay it against the horse. Now I'm going to make a fist with my other hand, and I'm going to go to my safety spot. Now my safety spot is where a lot of the muscles in the shoulder overlap. Right, so right about there. That allows me to feel if he shifts his weight, or if he tenses, or if he goes to lift this leg, okay? So that gives me time to ask him to stand still, or to shift away from him, or to just recognize that maybe he's getting a little impatient or a little nervous, okay? So I'm gonna point my elbow towards the floor, and I'm gonna rotate my elbow and my fist from floor to ceiling. Good. At about 5 to 10 pounds of pressure. Now with compressions, we can typically use a little bit more pressure, especially in the shoulders. Okay? So pretty quick, I'm going to go from 5 to 10 pounds of pressure to 10 to 15. If your horse is really relaxed, maybe even 15 to 20. Okay? So this fella is pretty relaxed in the shoulder. We can see that by watching how far my hands go into the muscles of the shoulder, and by how he's holding his head, his neck, his ears, all of it. He's pretty relaxed. So I'm gonna go right to 20 to 25 pounds of pressure. Good, we can see him tense just a little bit right there. But he's thinking about it. He's not sure if it felt good or if it was a little uncomfortable. So we're gonna back off. We're gonna go to 15 to 20 pounds of pressure. There, and we can see him relax, yawns, licks, chews a little bit, likes that. That means we hit the right amount of pressure for him at this moment. Okay. Good boy. Good. So that's compressions. Compressions are pretty simple, right? You can use it on any part of the body that has dense muscle. Okay, so sometimes I'll even use it in front of the scapula, on the neck, but I don't get above 15 pounds of pressure there. Okay, I'll even use it across the glutes and the hindquarters. Okay, and there we can get up to 25 pounds of pressure usually, no problem. Just make sure your horse is nice and relaxed. Okay, so now this is the personality he chews on his lead rope. Pretty much anything he can get his mouth on, he chews on it. We'll just let him do his thing. He'll relax as I keep going. So next, we go on to the back. So for the back, we're gonna do some knuckling. So the muscles in the back are very long and pretty wide, okay? So I'm gonna stand by his shoulder, right? And I'm gonna make a fist with my hand again. Now I'm gonna use the narrow part of my fist. I'm gonna start at his withers with about 5 to 10 pounds of pressure. I'm gonna go from the withers all the way to the top of the hip, okay? And I'm gonna do that 2 to 3 times until he relaxes. Okay? Now I can hear him licking and chewing some. So we're gonna go up to 10 to 15 pounds of pressure. Okay? We're gonna do that 2 to 3 times. If he continues to be relaxed, we'll go to 20 to 25 pounds of pressure. Okay? Now what this does is you're smoothing out the muscle fibers, forcing them to stretch and compress in places, and that will force them to relax. Okay? Now sometimes I have to switch arms during this, especially with a big horse like this. And that's fine. You can take time to do that. Right? And you're just going to take your knuckles along his back. Keep going. I'm still at 20 to 25 pounds of pressure. All right. So that's pretty good for him. You can tell that he's pretty relaxed. He seemed to enjoy that. He didn't seem to have any tense areas. So we don't have to do that for too long. So next, we're going to move on to the hindquarters. So for the hindquarters, we're going to use palpation and a hook stroke. So you can combine palpation and a hook stroke to help relax these major muscles in the hindquarters that help propel them forward, helps with your impulsion, your collection, some flexibility, the range of motion in the back leg. Okay? So we're going to use another safety spot. So we make our fist again. Our safety spot's going to be right there. Okay, once again, that's where several muscles overlap. That allows us to know if they raise this leg, they shift their weight, lean towards us, anything like that. So I'm going to take my left hand in this case, and I'm going to slide it just above the muscle of the hop. And I'm going to pull the muscle towards me a little bit. Right, and I'm slowly going to work my way up his hip. You can see him relaxing. He cocks that back foot. Maybe you could hear him sigh. That's good. So right now, this is the hook stroke. Right now, all the way to the side of his tail. Next, we're going to do palpation. So you're going to take your hand, you're going to form it like this, and then you're going to grab that muscle, and you're going to squeeze it all the way back up to the side of the tail. And that's a pretty simple movement. It's not complicated. You can go at about 15 pounds of pressure for this. And you can keep going at this as long as your horse is relaxed. Okay? So we can see he's still real relaxed. See all these muscles are relaxed. Now as I use this hook stroke, you might notice that he flexes his leg. That's good, right? That means that he's so relaxed, he's letting me move the muscles and move his leg. Okay, so that's something good you guys can watch for. All right. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you have fun massaging your own horses.